Hi, and welcome to Yin Yoga. My name is Emily, and we're going to start in a nice, comfortable, seated position. Now, before we start, I just want to let you know that if you have any props at home, I would recommend getting at least 2 pillows. I have with me a bolster, 2 blocks, and a blanket. And I know that not everyone has those props, and that's perfectly fine, but at least 2 pillows would be sufficient enough for class. And let's go ahead and start. So seated in a nice comfortable position, shoulders back and down, and eyes are closed. Hands can be in your lap, on your knees, or at your side. Relax the shoulders, they're down and away from the ears. And as you start to settle into your mat, relax the hips and relax the thighs. And we are going to begin our practice today with our pranayama. Samariti, even breath. Breathe in through the nose for a count of 5. Then breathe out through the nose for a count of 5. Deep, full, long, and steady breaths. Again, Samariti, even breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. Taking deep, full, long, and steady breaths. Last 5 rounds of Samariti, even breath. Breathe in through the nose for a count of 5. Then breathe out through the nose for a count of 5. Deep, full, long, and steady breath. Now start to just wiggle the fingers and wiggle your toes a little bit. Start to roll the shoulders and slowly open the eyes. Going to be getting into our first yin pose. So whatever props that you have gotten, whether that's the 2 pillows or if you have blankets with you, I would use those. We're going to be getting into dragonfly. Excuse me, dragonfly. You can use your pillow or you can use a blanket. So dragonfly is like wide-legged, seated forward fold. You just separate your feet as wide as you would like, and you would place a pillow in between the thighs or a blanket. I'm using a bolster, and you want to again make sure they're right in between the thighs. If you have any knee concerns or issues, I would put blankets underneath the knees or little hand towels. Okay. Legs are completely relaxed, so you're not flexing or pointing the feet. And sometimes feet will turn in or out depending on how relaxed you are. Okay? And we're gonna fold at the hips, lead with the chest, and you're gonna fold forward. Now, if you don't come all the way down onto your bolster or pillow, which is perfectly fine, you can always prop up with an extra pillow, bolster, or with a blanket, or if you have another pillow, or if you have a block as I do, you can have it upright or on its side, and forehead on that block. Okay? When you're ready, nice big inhale, and exhale, you fold down, forehead or cheek down, and you relax the arms. Now in yin, we're looking to go towards your edge, that point of discomfort. So you're not supposed to be relaxed, and you're not supposed to be in pain, so you're right in the middle. Now what you're wanting to feel here is you're wanting to feel a nice, juicy, intense stretch in between, or excuse me, inside the legs here. So you want to go from the groin, inner thigh, inside of the knee, and inner calf, or inside of the leg here. And depending on how far you are folding down, you're going to feel it in the lower back as well. Okay? The closer you get down to your mat or to the floor, the more intense the pose is going to be. So the more intense the stretch is going to be. Again, we're looking for that point of discomfort, not pain. So if you start to feel a sharp stabbing pain, the further you go down, you want to start to lift yourself up. Okay, or prop yourself up more, or if you need to, just sit up completely, okay, as I'm doing, or come up onto your forearms. Now, in yin, not everybody looks exactly the same when they're doing the pose, and that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be feeling the pose, not looking the pose. Okay? So go towards that point of discomfort. If you need to even open up more, start to spread the legs out a little more to get that more intense stretch, that's perfectly fine. If this is completely painful to you, having the legs separated, you can always bring the legs together, as I'm going to demo here, and just do a forward seated fold instead. Okay? You're still going to get the benefits. You'll get more of it in the lower back rather than the inside of the legs, but you're still working some of those muscles that we're trying to get into, okay? Now remember, we're holding this for extended amount of time. So this is where our breath work, our pranayama comes into play. So staying in this pose means we don't come up and out of the pose. So I want you to close your eyes as you're in each pose and really breathe. So stay down in the pose, don't move. Relax here. Think back to Samariti, even breath. We're here for just another 10 rounds of breath. We're not here forever. So take the time here today, here on your mat. Focus only on yourself. Deep, full breaths. Last 5 rounds. When you are ready, on an inhale, hands press into the mat and you're going to slowly lift up. Take your time coming up out of this pose. Once you are upright, any props you have between the thighs that you're using, you're going to place them to the side. And then we're going to use our hands to bring our legs to center. Okay, so don't use the muscles in your legs to bring them together. Okay? Point and flex the feet now. You want to do ankle circles, you can, going left to right, in, out, whatever feels good. Shake it, and then we're going to bend our knees, soles of the feet come onto the mat, hands at your side. Then we're going to do what I call windshield wipers. So separate the feet just a little bit, and then we're going to drop our knees down to the right, drop your knees down to the left. And then just do that a couple of times. And go as fast or as slow as you need to go. So this is windshield wipers. Dropping knees down to each side. And go ahead and straighten the legs out again. Point and flex and shake. We're going to go ahead and get into butterfly or Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet come together, knees out. Now we're doing a forward fold again. You can use a pillow, blanket, bolster, whatever you'd like in between the thighs, or nothing at all in between the thighs. Now, I suggest you have something underneath the knees, whether it is a block, whether it's a pillow, whether it's a blanket. So I have one under each to demo it here. For me, the most comfortable thing is a blanket because there's no hard edges. And a blanket actually comes up a little more than a block. So if you have really, really tight hips, I would suggest having a blanket or pillow underneath the knees here for when you fold forward. You have a little more support. Okay? So definitely something underneath the knees for when you fold forward if you have really, really tight hips. If you don't have tight hips and you want to just go pretty far in this pose, you really want a nice stretch, nothing at all, I would suggest no props underneath the knees, okay? But definitely something here between the thighs. Okay? Folding up the hips, always, whenever we fold forward. Lead with the chest, nice big inhale. And exhale, fold down. Forehead or cheek on whatever prop that you're using. And again, as I say with all of our yin poses, I want you to go towards your edge. So it's in the middle of that point of relaxing and that point of pain. So you want to go a little bit further than being completely relaxed. And you want to go not too far into that zone of pain. And you'll know when you feel that nice intense stretch, and that's where you want to settle. Yin is about increasing our strength, increasing our mobility, and increasing our flexibility. And to do that, we have to work a little bit. And that's why we hold these poses for 1 to 5 minutes, depending on what pose we're in. This type of pose, a butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana, as you know, in an active practice, we hold this for a longer period because most people can't hold it for a longer period of time. And when you practice this pose every day, it gets easier. Muscle memory, the body remembers this. This will get easier. Using your props will help the body, and it'll help your mind staying in this pose for longer periods of time. When you stay in this, when you use your breath work, when you fight through the discomfort, you're helping yourself through other things in life, not just this pose. You start to train yourself, and you'll see a difference. We're here for just another 10 rounds of breath. So for this last 10 rounds, if you are really, really challenged by this pose, this is a perfect time to just sit at that point of discomfort, sit at your edge, and just breathe. Okay? Really take this time to sit there and just focus on the breath, nothing else. Samariti, even breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Deep, full, long, steady, and controlled breaths. Relax the hips. Relax the inner thighs. Relax the knees, that's where you're feeling it here. Placing your hands on the mat, slowly start to rise up on an inhale. Take your time coming upright. There's no rush. Now, once you are upright, we're first going to remove the props that are in between the thighs if you used any. And place them beside you on the mat. And then if you have anything under the knees, go ahead and remove them, any props. And then hands underneath the knees. Bring the knees together. And then slowly extend them out, one at a time. Point and flex the feet. Shake the legs, and then we can do our ankle circles again. Going left, right, and go out, in, whatever feels good. And then we're going to do the windshield wipers that we did in our last one. So again, you just bend the knees, so take your time. Hands beside you, and then you separate the feet a little bit, and then our knees go from one side to the other. So windshield wipers. And if this doesn't feel good after doing butterfly pose, because some people it doesn't feel good, that's totally fine. You don't have to do this. This is just an option. And again, for a lot of these after the pose, I give you options to do their counter poses. If they don't feel good, don't do them. They're just options, just counter poses. If there's something that feels better to you to do, listen to your body, do it. Totally fine. Okay, from here, we're going to come back to center and straighten the legs out. And again, point, flex the feet, shake the legs. Okay. And then from here, we're going to get into, let's get into we haven't done spinal twists in a while, so let's do those today, okay? So we're gonna lay on our back. So make sure there's nothing behind you. Come on, Juju, we gotta move for Mama. Come on, thank you. Okay, and for our spinal twist, you're going to need at least a pillow, blanket, or a bolster, okay? So again, for the spinal twist, you'll need at least a blanket, pillow, or bolster. And it'll go on the right side first. And laying flat on your back, just take a moment here, making sure that the shoulders are flat on the mat, back is flat, you're comfortable. We're just going to take 3 deep breaths here. Now to set up for this spinal twist, you want to make sure that the bolster, blanket, or pillow on the right side of you is right at hip level. Okay? So again, that blanket, bolster, or pillow is right at hip level on the right side. Now we're going to do a one-legged spinal twist. So that right leg is going to be straight. We're going to bend our left knee and hug left knee to chest. Making sure that right leg is straight, we're going to take left knee, cross it over the right body onto whatever prop you're using, whether it's a bolster, blanket, or pillow. You want to make sure that your chest is neutral. So we're not twisting it to the left or right. Head is neutral, not twisting to left or right. Arms are out to the side. Palms can be up, facing sky, or arms can be down. So palms can be on the mat. Whatever is most comfortable to you, as long as shoulders are flat and on the mat. Eyes are closed. Now remember, again, this is yin. We're going towards that point of discomfort. Doesn't matter what it looks like, the pose matters what it feels like. So you're looking for that intense stretch. You're looking for it. This is spinal twist, so you're looking for it in the lower back, the lower spine here, going into that outer left hip, because we're crossing that left leg over. So outer left hip, outer left thigh, and it can go, depending on how far you're twisting, it can go into that left knee. Now, also depending on what type of prop you're using, it can go even further down the knee. Now, if you're using a blanket, you're not propped up too high. You can go down into the knee. Now, some people don't like to use any prop at all, and that can make this pose even more intense of a stretch. And if you would like to not use any prop at all, if you feel like you're not even getting any stretch at all in the lower spine or the lower back, go ahead and try no prop at all. That's perfectly fine. Just be very mindful of how far you go. This can be quite an intense stretch. You want to be careful that you don't tweak or pinch any nerve in the lower back, the lower spine. We are holding this for quite a while. Continue to breathe deeply here, in and out through the nose. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring that left knee back to center. And then we're going to hug both knees. I want you to go from side to side, forward and back. Just take a moment here. And then we're going to be switching sides. So whatever prop you use on the right, I want you to use on the left. And then when you're ready, we're going to straighten that left leg. Right knee to center. Then you want to make sure that you got those shoulders flat on the mat. And then right knee goes over left body onto whatever prop you're using. Left leg is straight and arms out to the side, palms either facing sky or flat on the mat. And again, chest is neutral, so you're not twisting it to the left or right. And head is neutral, so you're not looking to the left or right here. And then now, feeling the intense stretch here. You want to be feeling it again, still in the lower back, but now we're starting to feel it on the outer right hip here, going into the outer right thigh and right knee. And like I said, for the left side, where you're taking over the right body, depending on what prop you use, especially if you're using a blanket or a towel, maybe you're not propped up as high, you're going to feel it a little more going down that knee, so to be going down the right knee now. And if you're using no prop at all, this spinal twist will be even more intense. So just be very mindful, of course, of how far you're twisting, how far down you're going if you're not using any prop. We don't want to tweak or pinch a nerve in the lower back or spine. We want to go towards that edge, that point of discomfort, but not pain. Be aware of your body, be aware of the feelings, the sensations. You know your body well enough. And back to our pranayama, samariti, even breath. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose, taking deep, full, long, and steady breaths. Go ahead and we're going to bring that right knee to center. And then bring that left knee up to center. Hug both knees to chest, rocking side to side, forward and back. And then you can slowly rock upright to come up to a seated position, or you can rock to your right side, take a moment, and then push yourself upright, whatever feels good here in the moment. I'm going to rock upright, come up to a seated position. And once you're upright, shoulders back and down, hands can be in your lap, on your knees, or at your side, whatever is most comfortable. I want to thank everyone for joining me for Yin Yoga. Namaste. Have a great day.